So I ain't gonna tell y'all how irritated I am that I recorded a full like 30-minute video and the mic wasn't on. So I gotta start over from scratch. I hope y'all are well. My name is Kaci Jackson. I'm a registered commodity trading advisor and I trade forex. I make videos on YouTube to show you guys my approach to the market. And so that is what I'm gonna do here today. So I want to go over USD pairs, but before I go over USD pairs, I want to take a look at the dollar index, give you my bias on where I think it's going to go, because that will help to inform the pairs that we're going to go over. So first, I'm going to review EuroCAD, which was the last video that I did, and show you that price has reached the first target. And then I'm going to take a look at the US dollar index, and then we're going to look at NZD USD. And then also AUD USD. I'm going to walk you through an analysis on AUD USD. Okay. All right. So EuroCAD, I did a video on that one about a week ago. Maybe a little bit before then. I thought that we were going to see price advance, and we did to the monthly resistance level. My target was 1.5025 to 1.505. And we saw that happen, right? And so last week, I think it was Wednesday, I did a video saying that if I saw a price close below the monthly resistance level by the end of the day, I was going to start looking for sales. I think my overall target was 1.4096, because on the higher time frame, that is the 38.2 of the fib. And if you're lost as to what I'm talking about, go register for the mini course. It's going to help you, right? But that's my overall target. But before we even get to there, we got to get to, on the lower levels, we got to break past some key levels. So right now, as you'll see, this was the formation I thought I saw. Let me get rid of this because that's played out now. Uh-oh. Come on, price. Okay. Yep. So looking at the fib, we had an A high, a B low, price pulled back in between the 50 and the 618. We've hit the D extension, but we've also crossed through weekly support. And so I'm anticipating some sort of pullback and maybe see a continuation on down to the next level. But long term, I think my bias is short on EuroCAD. But the play has already started happening as we discussed before. And so you'll see these trend lines in action, right? Look at this. So the breaks, like I drew these ahead of time, but I'm just looking back at like how it's playing out. And you'll see price rejected right off that trend line and push right on down to 1.4912 and actually a little bit lower. So I'm anticipating some sort of pullback and then a continuation to the downside. On a shorter time frame, though, this is a key level, fib level. Let me see. That's not what I want. Hold on, let me go to the 4 hour. Ooh, this looks a mess. Hold on, y'all. Let me get my life together right quick. Okay. So, if you're confused, like what is all of this going on your chart? On the 4 hour, we had the same play that I see on the higher time frame. So you have the A low, B high, shallow retracement. Oh, I'm sorry, A low, B high, shallow retracement. And then stall out just before the D extension, which is at 1.51327. And so typically what we see before we see price complete the sequence is price pull back at least to the 38.2 and then try to go back up and hit that target. That is very well a possibility in this case as well, but you've got monthly resistance. So if price touched this 38.2 level and then started to make a U-turn, at least to attempt this, I wouldn't be surprised at all. But on the higher time frames, I'm still looking for sales, but there could be some buy opportunities in there too. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at these USD pairs. So the US dollar index, for those of you guys who don't know, this can inform your pairs that you trade that have US dollar in them. So looking at this and looking at the analysis that I did, I think that, let me show you the long term. Long term, I think that the US dollar is going to increase as far as gaining some strength. And this is purely off of technical analysis. I'll confirm this with fundamental, but looking at this chart, this is the active fib. We have an A high, B low. We had a shallow retracement, price pushed up just below the 38.2, still couldn't make it, came back, but made a higher low, right? So my bias is that I think we're going to see price continue to the upside on the US dollar, which means that it's gaining strength. So what does this mean for the pairs that you trade that have USD in them? So USD XXX pairs, if the dollar is strong, then the quote pair is going to be weak, and that means potential buy opportunities. And then if you are trading XXX USD, that means that you're looking for potential sale opportunities. And so my bias again is to the upside on the dollar index. So I want to take a look now at NZD USD. So I'm going to pull that up and I'm going to walk you through my thoughts on this pair. And I probably need to type it in. Oh, okay, there we go. So I've already marked this up. Let me go down. I think it was on the 4 hour. Yeah, I'm actually in this trade right now. And what I'll show you is there was a shallow retracement to the downside. So this hasn't finished hitting the D extension, right? And so this is the active fib at play. We have A high, B low, less than 38.2 pullback, and price kind of found support at this 4 hour level. So I took this buy. I trade reversals. And so my thought is that we're going to see price hit at least this 38.2. And then I think what we're likely going to see is that we're going to see price sell off and hit this D extension down here, which is 0.60838. There is possibility that we could see price make a deeper retracement. But my target is at least to the 38.2 because I know price can react from that level. Okay. So that's my thought on that pair. I'm in this buy. I think it was like 100 pips total out of this setup. 100 pips. But if you're looking for a sale opportunity, of course, make sure you get your confirmation, once we get around this level, and go for it, I guess. But you need your confirmation first, right? If you don't know what the confirmation is, make sure that you visit the mini course. I think that'll give you some insight into how to do it. Now, what I want to look at next is AUD USD. And I had marked this one up from start to finish, but it doesn't look like anything saved. So I'm going to walk you through how I mark up charts. If you are new to the channel, I think it'll give you great insight. No matter if you're a swing trader, a scalper, or an intraday trader, you need to be doing multiple time frame analysis. And that is what I've done here on this chart, or I'm doing here on this chart. And so if you don't know what a multiple time frame analysis is, it gives you insight as to what's going on each time frame, on the higher time frame. So if you're a scalper, it's beneficial to you to know what's happening on the higher time frame because it gives you a guide on how far you can trade a pair or how far you can scalp for sale, or buy. If you're an intraday trader, it's still beneficial because, again, it's telling you what's happening on the higher time frames. What is wrong? On the higher time frames, right? And so what I've gone through and done is I'm identifying my highs and my lows. And again, if you don't know what highs and lows are, I encourage you to check out the course. It breaks all of that stuff down in there and it's for free. So I think it's probably the best 28 minutes that you'll spend if you're trying to advance in trading. And it's good content. I'm not just saying that because I did it. I know it is. So what I've done is I've identified the highs and the lows on the monthly. And so now what I want to do is I want to check and make sure that what I've chosen is correct. And so you'll see that the system picked up every level that I've identified. So you have 5 levels of support that the computer has identified, which is beneficial because it gives you insight as to those potential reversal areas. Now I'm going to check for resistance in every level that I've identified except one. Has been identified by the system. Now I use smarttrader.com. I love it. It helps speed up the process of marking up charts, which is good because I mark up a lot of charts. And so I can quickly go in, see what I need to do and move on. Right. And then I like the smart tools that's what actually helps you be able to move fairly quickly in the analysis. Now, I still will eyeball things on my own because I kind of just use it as a check system in order to make sure that what I've speculated is correct, right? So looking at this, and I don't know, why did I put a fib? I need to complete all of my levels first. Okay. So I've done the monthly. Now I'm moving down to the weekly, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm finding my highs and my lows again, because these are potential reversal areas for price. And now when you combine that with the fib, it's powerful information. Okay. Very powerful information. I'm cool with this. All right. So I think I'm good. So prices are touched a key level on Friday or last week, not Friday. Okay, so I think I've got what I need. I'm just going to double check. Yep, we're good on support. And then let's look at resistance. So I got a level here that I need to highlight. I got this, got that. Looks like we're good. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to go down to the daily, and I'm just doing the same thing. If you are new to Forex and you want a course that will teach you how to get 400 pips a week, then you want to make sure you go visit www.theprofitplay.co/400 pips. The link is in the video description too. We are all tight on time. A lot of you guys are working professionals, but you still want to take advantage of what the Forex market has to offer. Make sure you go reserve your spot today. Now I use different colors for different time frames so I can be able to see where I am in the mix. So if I log in on my phone, I can easily identify, where is price approaching a weekly level, a daily level, because those higher time frame levels are going to be a little bit harder to break than those lower time frames. So here is one. Here is another. Right. And then I believe I got one here. Let me change this pattern. I think I'm good. So I'm going to double check it. Like I said, I use this as a way to check my work, not actually just find the levels. I think there is value in being able to go in and do this by yourself, and having a system like this can help you get better at that, but you got to do it on your own first. Resistance. Yep. So we're good on resistance. So every level it's identified. Now I only go down to the 4 hour. You can go lower than that. I am a swing trader. And what I found is that those 1 hour levels or the lower time frame levels are easily broken. So for me, for my analysis, it makes the most sense to stop around the 4 hour level. And I'm already way too high. I see it. So that's one. It might pick those up. If it doesn't, I'll just delete them. But this is a level right here, 4 hour. And let me see. Smart support. Oh, ooh, this looks a whole hot mess. That's because we have not formed. When this market opens, then I think a lot of those are going to go away, because then you'll have a low, right? And so you got a 4 hour level of support, a weekly level of support, and a daily level of support. So now that I've gone through, I've identified my key levels. I want to see where I am in the fib sequence. One of the tools that I love, it's proprietary to this platform, is the smart fibs. And so it takes the human error out of where to place the fibs. So I love it because I'm a fib trader, right? So given what we know about the US dollar and it potentially gaining strength, that means that we're looking for potential sell setups on XXX USD pairs, right? And so we have an A low, B high, less than 23.6 pullback, 118.127 stall out, price came to the 618, found support, and then started making its way back up. So on the monthly, theoretically, long term, the target would be where I just dropped that line, 0.86101. But given what we know about the US dollar and it gaining strength, we're looking for the opposite direction right now. Okay, so I'm gonna go down to the weekly, and I'm going to place my down fibs because that's what I'm looking for, down fibs. And I know that we hit a key level in the higher time frame. I done messed up. I don't know where. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is the active fib on the weekly, right? So we have A high, B low. We had a pullback to the 618, which also formed a weekly resistance level. And now price is sitting at a daily and weekly support level. But you'll see that there's a lot of selling pressure. And you're like, okay, well, what are you looking at to say that there's a lot of selling pressure? So over the past few weeks, you'll see that price hit this daily resistance and pushed down. So you've got these long wicks at the top. This is selling pressure to me, right? So what I'm looking for, because I know what I know about the US dollar gaining strength, if it gains strength against the Australian dollar, then that means that the Australian dollar would be weaker, again, confirming that there are potential sell setups. And so I'm trying to get this fib off so I can look. This is the weekly, right? But before we get to the higher time frames having action on them, we got to look at the lower time frames first. So I'm going to go down to the daily, and I want to see where we are. So I'm going to go over the last high, the most recent last high. This is the active fib. And so you have A high, B low. You had a 50% pullback. And so the ultimate target, if this is going to be the move to the downside, is here at 0.63116, right? But even I got to drill down even lower than that. So I'm gonna go down to the 4 hour. Just keep note, and I'm just really keeping note of all of these key levels. So I'm gonna go down to the 4, and looking at this, I'm gonna go above the last high. I didn't put it right, so that's why it came up like that. Last high, there we go. So what you got going on here, you have an A high, B low, 23.6 pullback, and price found it, like it stalled out here, right? Not even to this level. It didn't even reach 118.127, found support before. So I think what we're going to see happen is we're going to see price pull back at least to the 38.2. You could get a drop off from here, right? But the other alternative is that price pulls back to the 61.8 and then drops off. So I can see price coming to 0.666 level and then dropping. But I see that there's structure against this 61.8, which is at 0.670, and then dropping off. So really, like I wouldn't, looking at structure, I'm more inclined to set limits at the 61.8 level with a stop above the last high and then see this drop off. I don't know that I would play it off the 38.2. Matter of fact, I don't think I would. So this is 179 pips from the 38.2 if you took it there. And from the 618D extension, this is 221 pips. I like that setup better. Lower risk, higher reward. But I'd be looking for sales, but I'm not selling now because I need price to get to a higher point before I execute. If I get in for a sale now, I'm about to be in for a ton of drawdown, right? So I'm going to take my ray. I'm just drawing my trend lines at this point because I know that price has to make its way back up before I see it start to make its way down. I need to see this happen first. So I'm going to go down to the hour. I just want to look at the fib on the hour to see where it might place us. So if you got into this reversal, good for you, right? Okay, so this fib actually lines up with that first stop at 38.2. Well, it's a little bit lower, but you know, once you break this 4 hour, you could see price start to pull. So it looks like we might have this that setup I was talking about before, because we got less than the 38.2 pullback. I think price is likely going to it could push up just a little bit higher and then start to make a deeper retracement, at least to the 38.2. And if you look left, let me draw this out. That zone is a zone of support. So it could come anywhere from the 38.2, which is here, 0.6660, or it could pull back a little bit deeper. It could even come to the 618, but my thought is it's going to come somewhere here, and then we're going to see price move up at least to that 38.2 level. Oh, let me make this a different color. Oh, I got the wrong thing. I'm like, yeah, at least to that 38.2 level. And then we got to see how it's going to react at that level. But if you want to trade the reversal, I would look for an entry at least at this level, 6660. And then that's like 60 something pips. If price continues up to the 618, that's like 100 pips. But there is that short-term play that's in there. But my overall bias for this pair is to the downside. It's just where is price going to trigger at in order to start to see those sales. And if we look, this is a very strong level. So you got a weekly, a 4-hour, and a daily. So my thought would be like to break these levels that you got to have more ammunition so I could see a deeper pullback and then the drop. But again, I would have to see what's going to happen, you know. So if I was trading this reversal, I would only trade it to the 38.2 and then wait to see if we get that push up to the 61.8 and then trigger for that sale. So that's my thought on AUD USD. Let me know what you're thinking on the pair, how you're playing it. Did you get in for the buy on Friday? I think that happened on Friday. Let me know in the comments. If this video was helpful to you, please go ahead, give it a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing. I try to put out videos on a pretty regular basis. I am a heavy technical trader. I do consider some fundamentals, but I'm a swing trader. So I try to make my process quick, simple, and easy as possible, just to help me get through these charts. So anyway, I'm done talking. I'm not gonna talk y'all ear off. I hope you have a great week, a profitable week, and I will see you guys here on the next video. All right, bye.